eternal, forever.
So there's a movie coming out called Superman. James directing it. Who's playing Superman?
James Gunn got David Corenswet. How you say his name?
David Corenswet. Okay, and then we got we've all seen the trailers. I'll go. I mean, look, I'll go first, man. I don't know. The movie itself feels like, and I'm not sure. Now, I have hope for it. I actually already have my tickets. I'm going to see it.
What day you want to check it out?
I'm checking it out Saturday.
Okay, I think I'm trying to check it out on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm seeing it in LA actually on Saturday.
Okay.
But
let me know what the West Coast is feeling about it.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't seen enough to know what it's about, which could be a good and a bad thing. But I think we're in a world now where, and I was talking to somebody about this earlier. I think the maybe problem to solve with comic book media, and even James Gunn, I think, recently talked about this with like Batman films, or saying like every story's been kind of told, which is true. I think, but not every story's been told well. Like, I'm a big X-Men fan. X-Men's coming out one day and all of that, but I would love to see the Dark Phoenix story just done right, And same thing with Superman. Like, there's so many, like the Lex Luthor story. Some people are like, "Oh, it's tired," and I'm like, "Yeah," but like, I want to see, like, to compare it to wrestling a little bit. It's like you want that Hell in the Cell match every year, whether it's Undertaker and Mankind, Undertaker Shawn, it's Undertaker and somebody.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I would love to see and that's kind of how I look at it with the Lex Luthor role. It's like, whoever's playing Lex Luthor, that's kind of like Undertaker and who, right? So it's like Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor. That could be cool. Let's see what happens with that, right? But I don't feel there's a lot of excitement around that for whatever reason.
So I think that the tempered expectation is a lot of people that have a lot of clout, a lot of people that's moving the culture right now on YouTube, like say a Tyrone Magnus, have been coming down on the movie a lot. They've been coming down on the possibility of a woke aspect of it, coming down on the way the Superman suit looks, coming down on, like, is crypto necessary to it? Do we want the dog in it? Are there too many features with Guy Gardner as the Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, all of that?
Maybe that's why Brian. I mean, why he hasn't. Why James Gunn hasn't really revealed too much, because he knows, like, if you put out stuff out of context, people are just gonna chew it up, and they're already doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. But on the same token, I feel like that's messing up some of the rhetoric, right? It's creating this feeling of, how do we put it? There's a lack of excitement around this film for this to be coming out this weekend, this summer. This is supposed to be the summer event comic book film of the year. I just feel like there's a lack of excitement, for whatever reason. And once again, I don't think it's the film's fault. I think, if we're being honest, it's like, he looks like Superman. The trailer looks dope. He's flying. James Gunn has delivered more than he hasn't, if we're being real in the comic book space. So,
that's a fact.
It's but what is it? Why aren't we, and that's the question I've been asking myself, like, why aren't we as fans excited about this?
I think we just don't really trust it overall. DC hasn't really given us much to trust whenever they have attacked it. When it wasn't Christopher Nolan's, Batman trilogy, Dark Knight, and that whole vibe, I think people are off the whole DCEU vibe, when it came down to Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, when we had, people were torn on Henry Cavill as Superman. More people were feeling him, but I think what happened was, with Henry Cavill, people liked his look they liked the Man of Steel, but then when it started going into the Justice League movies, I think it started getting a little suspect to them. So that's why I think people just don't trust it anymore. And I think
Yeah,
just as a
trust is a big issue.
overall, people not trusting the
Yeah, I
comic
think
book brand
trust is a big issue with
of
all the
flicks.
brands, and I think you got Fantastic Four coming out soon. What day is that?
It's like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks after
With
this
2 weeks after Superman. Jurassic Park just came out. Nobody saw that. I think.
I wanted to see. I didn't get around to it, but I definitely want to check that.
But see, that's what I'm saying. There's a lack of excitement around these projects and entities and pillars of what we'll say pop culture that it just isn't hidden anymore. And that's what concerns me about a Superman movie that has a bunch of characters in it. Now, I'm not against that. The problem for me is that it starts to feel a little bit like TV, especially when we have so much accessible on TV. And for me, like it needs to be giant size, right? It's like
Right.
Superman, the movie has to be him fighting Brainiac on a volcano in Mars or something, right? Like that's what a Superman movie I think should be. And like this movie may very well be that. I'm gonna find out this Saturday, but it's not about the opening weekend. I think it's about, can films come out and sustain an interest past that opening weekend? Like for example, F1 did that. If let's say at the end of F1, this would be ridiculous, but that's why it's a good hypothetical. At the end of F1, it's revealed Brad Pitt was actually Johnny Blaze and this was Ghost Rider. That would get the world excited.
Right.
And I think that's what the comic book world is missing a little bit. It's like we've gotten so focused, or the films have gotten so focused on trying to just do pieces of business versus like, well, what's innovative? What's really getting people excited? Like Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, I'm kind of excited to see that. But I'm also, because I know the story, and for me, I don't know, I don't want to speak for the majority of fans, but I didn't like, I loved it, but I didn't like, oh man, now we're done with him. It's like, nah, like him as Iron Man is great. Give me a billion of these. So like him coming back as Doctor Doom, Iron Man, I don't know what they're doing, but that's cool. That's exciting. But that's also not enough. We need more of that,
Yeah, I think with the movie also, we want to know like what direction we going. So are you trying to catch lightning in a bottle again with the Christopher Reeve sort of vibe? We saw that already back in 06 when they had I forget what's dude's name that was in
Brandon
06.
Ruth.
Yeah, Brandon Routh.
Ralph, yeah, he was good in the shows as Ray Palmer, the Atom, eventually.
Yeah, so
Which speaks to my point about like, now, like who are the people that could actually bring Superman to the thing? And I think David Cornswell, he fills the boots nicely, but it's like, I think the bigger question is this: is Superman mean what it meant?
right.
Does Superman mean what it meant? Back in the day.
I think that it doesn't. I think that Superman might be considered corny to a degree, but I don't think that's enough to affect the bottom line of the movie. I think that if they would have been doing it right, or not with all of the upheaval, plus people have a lot of access to knowing what's going on the set and everything too, in ways that we didn't before. So we didn't know all the drama. We just knew if we liked it or we didn't like it.
Yeah.
So like that and a million trailers. So it actually kind of, I think it's starting to become counterproductive to what should be the marketing. You might need to scale it back a little bit. And you have to figure out a balance between making Superman realistic to the times, but at the same time, you don't want him dark as if he comes out of Gotham City. He's supposed to be.
So you don't like Henry Cavill breaking a man's neck at the end of Superman?
Superman ain't supposed to be doing that. We always wonder why he doesn't.
I liked it, but I feel you.
You know what I mean? So like that's not really Superman. That's where, and even like when you look at all of the Batman movies, like Batman always, it never killed, and he was killing, and like and what was it, Batman v Superman, and that whole thing. So they not getting it right, and it's more than like little details. It's like the tone
Yeah, the
of the
tone's off
character.
on
Yeah,
things.
even the
Yeah.
color of Henry Cavill's suit wasn't right. So Christopher Reeve nailed everything, right? But he was at a time where if they could make you believe that a man flied, what should they be able to make you believe now? And now we don't believe anything. So if
Or
we
we
had
would
a
believe a good movie, if they do
if they
that.
would make it,
Yeah.
so now, can James Gunn be the man like that where he's the Kevin Feige of DC and still producing? Because remember, Kevin Feige he didn't direct the movies. He would hire the director. So can you be Kevin Feige and be yourself as James Gunn? Because you were great James Gunn when you were in
It's like the
Marvel on the
Doc Rivers
MCU.
issue. Can you coach and GM as
Right.
well? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're doing too much. I don't know, you're trying to Bill Russell to be, the player coach. You might be doing too much, you know what I'm
We got to
saying?
get Bill Russell results if you're gonna move like Bill Russell.
That's
So
a fact.
yeah.
So, with the basketball analogy and everything, I know you ready with your Lakers jersey on. So you ready to catch your flight out to LA and, catch the movie and everything. And I can give you a proper introduction to set it off. We got my man Julius back, the movie film creator, producer, director extraordinaire. So, his word holds a lot of weight. So definitely want to chop it up with you on Superman and get your thoughts on it, see what that was like. So definitely appreciate that. But what's your overall take? How many cups up would you give Superman before seeing it? What you think it's going to be?
So out of what was it out of again?
Out of five,
Out of
out of five
five,
cups.
I'm giving it a cautious 3.5 out of 5, just because I agree. And look, I'm a bit of a wrestling fan. I would have loved to see James Gunn, and he lightly has come out and said things, but I would have loved to see him come out swinging more. Like, yo, this is gonna be the best superhero movie on the block. What you mean? Like I would even. And look, I get it. We're not in the Monday Night Wars, but like I'm like, go head to head with Fantastic Four. That's what the comics industry
I'm
would do.
just
It's like
saying,
drop out,
yeah,
like number
yeah,
ones would drop
yeah,
the same day, and like if
yeah.
I remember meeting, be like, hey, this is the issue I picked up with you. Oh, you picked that up, or like when video games would drop, like and that's I feel like we need that excitement back in comics and films a little bit, but hey, it may be too far gone, and that's what is exciting maybe about what's coming in the AI space a little bit, where people are making their own films. Like some of the Superman stuff I see online, I'm like, well, that's intriguing. So you never know. But I 3.5, and then look, I'll check in when I get back, and maybe we could do a post review. I'll do
That's
a
what I'm
review
hoping for.
episode. I'm hoping the film will surprise me, because I don't think we've seen everything. And there is that rumor going online that like Henry Cavill's in it as like an evil Superman. I'll be real with you. If that happens, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Just because you got away with that without people really being able to confirm it. And then two, that's the type of punk rock move I think you need, where it's like, we're not erasing the last universe. This is what the last universe turned into.
I'm going to give it
Oof.
2.5. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm already out on it from the past. What I'm seeing is not really moving me in large part because of what I think is redundancy, right? Like, I'm tired of Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
right? Can we get Brainiac? Can we get, like, when we saw the last we saw of Henry Cavill
Intergang.
was
What are the other superhero
Black
heroes?
Adam,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We saw Henry Cavill make an appearance at the end of Black Adam.
Oh,
So
that's
we
true.
was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's about to get busy. So now we got The Rock against Henry Cavill. So we like, and the suit was brighter.
And you got Peacemaker. He showed
you
up in that a
have
little bit. Yeah.
powerful people on his level. So yes, we understand that Lex Luthor is I don't think he's a mega level genius, but he is definitely a genius.
He's smarter than Mr. Terrific.
Debatable.
Well, in the movie,
you know, I mean, when you look at the Justice League TV show, the cartoon, and then you saw the way he was able to like step to Darkseid, because he found an anti-life, equation.
One final time. Only a 12th level intellect has the slightest hope of surviving what you are about to experience.
then I'm overqualified.
There, we got Darkseid out there. Can we get Darkseid going? You know, if Marvel's bringing in Galactus, can we get Darkseid popping? You know, what's up with that? Just doing something that is not redundant. Lois don't have to be in this one. Maybe she don't make this cut, you know, because he's off the planet right now doing something else, you know.
Legion of
You know,
Superheroes.
we just, you know, if that's the last we saw Superman cinematically and it's Black Adam, we get it. James Gunn is trying to distance himself from that. But you got to see where it was good and where, you know, where it was going right and where maybe you need to go left.
Yeah.
So that's my take. So 2.5 before seeing the movie, and hopefully I at least come up to a 4. I would love to be wrong.
Yeah, we would love to be wrong. That's what I think.
Right? We would love to be wrong.
Yeah.
So we the humble podcast here.
Yeah.
You know, we humbly say we would love to be wrong.
Yeah.
But on that one, we're gonna stop it there and let y'all know what we think about Superman. Hopefully they even put the music in. If they get the music back in it the way that Christopher Reeve had,
You get you a 3 at least.
then they give me a 3 because I'm a nostalgic type of guy. I like the music. I need
some
the
for you,
soundtrack
some
right.
for the old heads.
Word, you know what I'm saying? Definitely
Put that
bring
Pete
it back.
Rock on. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, listen.
Shout out to
When
Pete
we,
Rock.
you know, they reminisce over you.
Yeah. Shout out to Pete Rock.
All right, man. So shout out to my brother Julius. Thank you. You know what I'm saying, for, you know, your commentary and your expertise, your expert opinion.
Thank you. Thank you,
All right.
man. Oh yeah, definitely.
Cups up.
Within us all live a Superman. Within our souls to survive. Don't you wish you were Superman, Superman.